In this video, I want to show you how to use the story point spreadsheet for Project 1. Story points are a really useful way for people in teams to share their perspectives on the difficulty or complexity of any given requirement. To begin, if you look up at the upper left-hand corner, the instructions ask you to make a copy before using. So here's how you do that. Go to File, Make a Copy, and then in the file name, delete copy of, and insert team A or whatever your team letter is, and then click OK. It's important that you share the document with your teammates and with me. To do that, you would go to the Share button in the upper right-hand corner, and then enter the names of your teammates and me, and click Done. And then everyone will get a notification that that someone has shared a document. So there'll be one person in your team has to do this work and share it with the rest. The purpose of this spreadsheet is for you as a team to agree on the relative difficulty or complexity of each of the requirements. So we're not talking about tasks, we're talking about requirements. And so the question is, for example, each author starts with a research question. And so the question for the team is, based on your team as a whole, would you say that the task of, or the requirement of drafting research questions for the portfolio project is a 1, the simplest or least difficult of the requirements, a 2, which would be twice as complex as a 1, a 3, 5, 8, 13, or 21. And we use these scores to create distance between the numbers. It's not meant to be lockstep, absolutely 100% accurate in terms of a one-to-one equation between a number and a level of difficulty. So if it's a 21, this is a requirement that is so unfamiliar that you have no idea how to even talk about complexity, effort, or risk, or difficulty. So as you think through these, your job as a team is to say, we agree that just thinking about our team, doing this is a 2, let's say, for example. Or maybe, and that's because everyone has done some, but this particular project sounds a little foreign, and so you're not 100% sure that about how to proceed, so there's a little bit of risk. Or you've done this so many times that you feel really confident that it's a 1. Or let's say that you've never done anything like this, and even though maybe one person has done a little bit of it, most of the people in your group haven't done it very much, and it's going to be very effort intensive to complete this work. And you agree after a conversation that, yeah, 8 is probably the most accurate number to represent the level of difficulty in your team. There's always a level of guesswork in this work of assigning story points. You can never really be sure, but it's important that each person in your team voice his or her opinion about the level of difficulty and complexity and time that it takes to complete these requirements. Because we're going to measure your story points each week and how productive your team is based on the number of story points you're able to finish for each sprint. To use this tool then, for each requirement, copy it, or rather cut, Control X, and then place it in the column that you agree like that. The tool can be a little tricky when you scroll up and down, so be careful. That's why I'm doing the cut and paste. Control X and then paste it into whichever one you agree most accurately right now represents the level of complexity for each of the requirements that you will be working on during the sprint.